We normally experience transitions in our life as invitations for growth and change. Some become more attached to the world. Others make a lot of effort to appear younger than their age. Others try to consolidate their power, or others become vulnerable to depression and sadness. Father Sebastiano da Ambra, Pime, at age 61, feels a profound peace, accepting his growing physical limitations and waning strength with a realistic attitude. He knows this is a great time to prepare himself for the great encounter with the Lord, the eternal dialogue. Father Sebastiano says, I feel within me a great desire and passion to tell everyone that life is a great adventure between God, the great lover, and us, whom He wishes to claim as His beloved. In my own experience of encounters with people of different cultures and religions, I know this love is personal, yet without boundaries. I have learned to accept that people are different, to discover the beauty of each one, and to be astonished by the many ways God communicates this love to each one. We have to look for companions in the journey who are also moved by the same spirit and with sincere hearts are seeking and working for the common good. We see different cultures, religions, and a great variety of expressions inside each culture and religion.
I took one house that
In the end, I see that these varieties of expressions are beyond categories and analysis. What to do? There is no end to the way we are surprised by God's creativity. At the same time, we try to find a common point of reference to make us conclude that although there are many ways, there is only one style in God's dialogue. We have to recreate this hope in the world today. Gandhi says, I do not try to give up my religion to others, but only that they should see God's presence in me. And Father Sebastiano adds, and that I should see God's presence in them. This is the path to peace. Father Sebastiano de Ambra longed for a place where people of different cultures and religions could come together, share with each other their aspirations, fears, and desires to explore the spirituality of dialogue as a way of building a culture of peace. McCormick Dingy is a professor of social anthropology and political science at the Western Mindanao University. Professor Dingy is the editor-in-chief of Silsilah Publications.
There is a little story that I like always to remind to our students when they come here about the story when Prophet Muhammad was with a companion coming from one of their activity. It was fighting against a certain group. And the people, the companion said to Prophet Muhammad, what will be next? No? And he said, we are moving from the jihad to a great jihad. And the companion didn't understand. That is one hadith. And he explained, it's the purification. The great jihad is the purification of the heart. It's a struggle inside ourselves. Unfortunately, people give so much emphasis to the jihad in terms of holy war. There is a lot of misunderstanding on that point. But for dialogue, I believe this concept of the great jihad, because from the great jihad, from the purification of the heart, there is an attitude of reconciliation, an attitude of looking at other people with the new eyes, with new heart.
And it seems, I think, if I may say so, forgiveness is a cornerstone in the teachings of Christianity. And I think this is very attractive, so to speak, for Christianity, considering other faiths, for example, even from the point of view of other faiths, Islam, for example, in particular, because sometimes we say there are even, although I cannot know the Arabic, no, there are even passages in the Holy Quran that I was told that will allow something like a revenge, no, which is, I would say, very negative in the dialogue approach.
So that is in the back of my mind was that concept of purification, that it's very true in Islam, but also in Christianity. We have to pass through a journey of purification. Now, one really meaningful part of the life of the Muslim that I admire very much is that this purification bring to an attitude of prayer.
Okay, prayer for the Muslims is one opportune time where we believe that during our prayer, especially the Tahiyat Tahil, we have the presence of God with us. And of course, the feeling of the sense of accomplishment during prayer, because we said we have fulfilled one of the 5 pillars of Islam, which is prayer 5 times a day. And then, of course, prayer in Islam is divided into 2 categories. One is the wajib prayer, which we are mandated to pray, which is the 5 times a day. And the other are the sunnahs. And in our teachings in Islam, when you perform the sunnah, you also get credits for it. This is actually perhaps not perhaps, but this is the meaning of prayer. And I always say that also a prayer is one moment in time where one can get to be clean, because the process of purification.
In some way, the prayer attitude is very important in Islam. This is a very, very important message for the Christians. Sometimes the Christian can forget, no? And even when there is the call to prayer, no, in that Arabic words, there is that message, come to prayer. It's better to pray than to sleep, and said all the things. If people can understand in the language, they can see a lot of message. And of course, I'm also touched when I see you pray, no, because sometimes we have meeting and you have, sorry, I have to stop for a while because I have to pray. So we always give attention to that attitude of prayer.
Zamboanga is indeed a melting pot of cultures and religions. Old people of Zamboanga tell nostalgic stories of the beauty and peace of the city during the 50s and 60s. But in the 70s, the situation changed. Martial law was declared by President Ferdinand Marcos. The Moro National Liberation Front was organized. Jolo was burned in 1974. Since then, Zamboanga City has expanded with the coming of Muslim and Christian refugees from Jolo and nearby islands who fled from their homes to avoid the violence and conflicts, or simply to look for better economic opportunities. As we reflect on these historical events and conflicts, we feel a deep cry within us. Why? How long? We feel deeper pain when we hear many stories of fear and deep prejudices. Muslims against Christians, Christians against Muslims. Prejudices and biases are mutually implanted in their hearts. Remembering and sharing personal stories hastens the healing of personal wounds. At Silsilah, we find comfort in gathering together to hear stories from Muslim and Christian brothers and sisters. They are precious stories of suffering and hope. Annie Salvador was born and raised in the city of Manila. She married Manuel Ledesma Salvador, a native of Lamitan, Basilan. They had a daughter, Lilia, whom they raised in a rural environment where Muslims and Christians lived and worked together, side by side, as friends. This friendship was to be tested when Basilan became a war zone, a no man's land. Manoling Salvador, as provider and head of his family, risked many dangers to continue providing for his young family. He traded in copra, which meant harvesting the goods in the rebel-infested mountains of Basak. In 1973, during the dark and turbulent years of martial law, Manoling was caught in the crossfires between Moro rebels and the Philippine military. His widow, Tita Ani, remembers.
No man's land ang lugar namin, parang Basak, no man's land. Na, kailangan naman kunin ang kopras doon sa lugar namin. Pag makuha yung kopras, maipagbili yun sa lamitan, may pera na kami, may makain na kami. So, being the breadwinner, siya ang padre ng pamilya, gagawin niya talaga ang lahat ng paraan para hindi magutom ang pamilya niya. Hanap siya ng paraan para may makain kami. Kaya kahit alam ko na deligadong magpunta doon, sabi ko, sige, ikaw ang bahala, mag-ingat lang. I was so very prayerful na sabi ko, Lord, wag naman sana kung anong mangyari sa kanya, no, pagpunta niya. Yung panahon na yun, umakyat na siya. Hindi namin alam na yun na pala ang panahon na aakyat din ang mga military doon sa lugar namin. Di nagkasabay sila sa road, paakyat sa lugar namin, parang Basak, kasabay sila. Nakipag-usap pa si Manuling, no? Manuling man ang palayaw, tawag sa kanya Manuling, ang tawag sa kanya palagi. Kapag-usap siya sa military. Pagkatapos ng kipag-usap siya sa military, kanya-kanya na. Nagpunta ang asawa ko dun sa lugar namin dahil may isang truck, pati isang jeep. Yun na, puno na ng kopras para dalahin sa lamitan, para ipagbili doon. Yung mga 2 kilometers from Parangbasak, mayroon ng firing. Inambos na sila. 5 silang magkasama, Muslims and Christian. 5, firing na. Tapos hindi siya tinamaan, marunong siya magtumbling. Yung malapit na siya sa may detachment, military detachment, doon, nakapa na sila, no? Kapa. Alsa niya yung ulo niya, sabi niya sa kasama niya si Sarikin ang pangalan. Yakan. Ano man Sarikin, okay ka lang? Tapos pagsagot sa kanya, bigla nang tumama ang bala sa ulo ng asawa ko. Tumama. Ano yun eh, nagkaroon na ng crossfire na. Crossfire na yun. Na hindi na malaman kung kaninong bullet galing ang tumama sa ulo ng asawa ko. Basta sa ulo yan, on the spot man, no? On the spot mamatay. Yan. Pagka Friday ng araw na yon, nagpunta ako sa simbahan. Sa simbahan. Madalas man ako mag-attend talaga ng misa every day. Hindi namin alam, missing. Hanggang dumating sa hapon, may balita na patay na si Manoling doon sa lugar kung saan siya tinamaan, doon siya nakahapa siya.
Siya lang tinamaan.
Siya lang ang tinamaan, siya lang mag-isa. Tapos yung mga kasama niya, hindi ko na alam kung anong nangyari. Ang unang pumasok sa isip ko, humingi ng tulong sa military. Oo. So, nagpunta ako sa kolonya. Doon man ang military. Kung sa kolonya, yun ang lugar ng mga military. Humingi ako ng tulong. Sabi ko, naambos ang asawa ko, kung pwede lang matulungan niyo ako, makuha namin ang kadaper ng asawa ko doon sa Parangbasak sa lugar namin. Sinisi pa ako. Sabi niya, bakit siya nagpunta doon? Hindi ba niya alam na no man's land ang lugar ninyo? Sabi ko na, paano naman? Isa siyang padre de pamilya. Hanap siya ng panaan para makakuha ng kung ano lang, para makakain ang pamilya niya. Kaya umakyat siya doon para mabigyan kami ng pagkain, hindi kami mamatay sa gutom. Na ganyan. Wala silang magagawa. Dahil no man's land, hindi sila pwedeng magpunta doon. Hindi nagtagal, may dumating na isang yakan, Muslim. Sabi niya, alam ko kung saan ang lugar na namatay ng asawa ko. Tapos, siya ang nag-volunteer. Kukunin daw niya. Pero hindi pwede jeep. Kailangan gamitin pahagad. Pahagad, yung
Pahagad.
yung pahagad, karo yan yun, maliit ka,
Karo,
kuwan lang yun,
maliit na yan.
ilagay doon ang kadaver, tapos karabaw ang gagamitin para pagdala. Yun ang ginamit niya. Yun, isa siyang yakan.
Isa
Yun.
lang siya.
Yakan,
Isa
isa lang siya.
Hindi kayo pinasama.
Hindi man pwede kaya dahil no man's land yun. Kailangan sikreto
Natapos
ang pag-akyat
siya.
doon. Pumayag ako kay wala namang ibang
Walang choice.
wala nang ibang tutulong sa amin. Ang military hindi pwede. Na ang Muslim
Siya lang.
ang nag-volunteer na siya daw ang kukuha ng kadaver. Ayun na, dinala sa lamitan. Malaki na ang katawan kasi Thursday nangyari, Saturday na namin nakuha. Saturday na.
About
Oo,
3 days.
3 days na. Meron ang
Imagine.
amoy konti, no? Yun. Pagdala doon, siyempre, masama ang loob ko, isang anak namin. Paano ko palalakihin ang batang ito na ako na lang mag-isa? Alam mo, ang sama ng loob ko talaga, kung pwede lang ako humawak ng baril, I want to revenge the death of my husband. Sama talaga. Pero sabi ko, ano naman ang magagawa ko? Kung mag-revenge ako lang mag-isa? Sabi ko, it is in God. No? I believe that God will take, kung ano, it is for Him. No? Kung ano man ang binigay niya sa aming kapalaran, tanggapin ko.
Listening to your story, no, it reminds me of some incidents also that happened in the Sulu area, being one from Siasi Sulu, no.
Yes.
For example, in the occupation of Holo, after February 8, 1974, no. Of course, we know February 8, 1974, the MNLF came inside Holo. And after that, I think after 3 days, Holo was liberated by the armed forces of the Philippines, no? So there were stories like that, crossfired, no? Many victims, Muslims and Christians alike. And I was thinking maybe it's natural, I said, for Annie to, have some negative reactions towards the Muslim. I said that's human, no? Because if I will put also in her shoes, as a Muslim maybe, I will have also a little negative reaction, as is in general, no? The reaction of people, whether on the Muslim side or on the Christian side. So the Muslim feeling, for example, parallelly after the Jabida massacre, no? The Muslim feeling was anti-Christian. Okay? And then on the other hand, the Christian feeling, let's say after the coming in of the MNLF inside Holo, because they were also displaced, many were killed, yung Christians in Holo, no? And they call themselves Tausug, although the Christians said, we are Tausug already. So they have also a little sentiment, negative reaction towards the Muslims, the MNLF in particular, those who came inside Holo.
Each one of us are wounded. Meron talaga sa experience natin, meron yan tayo, we are wounded. And I discovered that in being wounded, we gain wisdom. The wisdom that, say, to discover.
But the beautiful thing is, all of us are in search of real healing, no? The complete healing.
Yes.
But the complete healing can start from within,
Yeah.
and then from within, like what you have shared, you experience a real forgiveness. But how was the healing process? It was just you were just open to God's providence. If Muslims and Christians really can come together openly and have time like this, I think little by little we can overcome these barriers that blocks us. I mean, to recognize that we were all victims of woundedness. In whatever angle it come from. Psychological, emotional, economic, political, whatever. Generally, we are
In whatever
sharing
context.
the same struggle. But one thing that holds us and make us aware that this is a reality, at the same time the desire to go beyond this reality is the faith. My faith being a Christian.
And there, dialogue starts from God and brings people back to God. This message gives us the courage and conviction to continue our mission of peace. This spiritual experience is the foundation of our mission and has become a great source of joy and inspiration for us to go on and share our mission of dialogue with others. This profound understanding of dialogue brings us to the source and fountain of dialogue and gives us the deep motivation to pursue this living a life in dialogue with our brothers and sisters, Muslims and Christians.
Inya on lukot-lukot. It's called lukot-lukot. That one, no? But the real usog or summer term is ja.
Yes.
So it's made of rice and sugar.
We have the power to change our life, and we must nurture this transformation in the way we live our new transformed life.
I remember really that time. And you know how in the moment we really do not make many programs. We try to understand the signs of the time. So one of the signs of the time was to be immersed and to live the experience with the poor.
People of all religious persuasions are called to rediscover the God of dialogue. Christians are invited to read the Holy Bible, focusing on the basic Christian concept of love.
In these words, I begin to see how true it is that God shows no partiality.
Muslims read the Holy Quran, focusing on the basic concept of surrendering to Allah. Understanding the deeper meaning of mercy and compassion. The same spirit of dialogue can be offered to people of other living faiths.
Sa Surya, dili kami. Aral ang kami ang pwede dili. Pwede entra? Pwede siya.
All of us are called to rethink deeply the meaning of compassion and other dialogical elements of our faith traditions.
Mabueno kay para kay pwede kay movie pa ansina naman exercise akel muscles aki adentro nakita si bueno biran sina.
Sister Minda Sanyo has been a Silsilah peace worker for over 20 years. She runs the Emmaus Dialogue Center in Santa Catalina, Zamboanga City. Albina Alidon, Bibing, is a young, dedicated colleague and fellow pilgrim.
I saw how the priest was relating with the Muslims, bringing some clothing, some food to the Muslim communities, the evacuees, and this and that. And I was wondering what this priest is doing. Why this priest has to go to the Muslims and bring all this stuff for them when there are Christians also who are in need of these materials? These were my questions. But you know, I understood later on that was the witness of this priest, to bring the love, that dialogue already with the Muslims in that time. And I witnessed this one. And then I was inspired by that. So spiritually, I was nurtured by the spirit of the missionaries. And I think this has influenced my life very much, being missionary oriented in our living my vocation now. So how did I overcome all these realities? As I've said before, I came to know Silsilah, before I chose this vocation, I prayed a lot. You know, prayer is very, very powerful means to overcome all these sacrifices. And you know, through prayer, we can see the value of setting aside something, not accepting these things for the sake of a greater one. Which, you know, that time, I do not know what was it. But I was just responding how I understood God was calling me to be. But what I was feeling was, I was contented, I was happy, but I know behind me there were pains, there were sacrifices and that. But I was happy. I was content. And for me, that was already the initial stage of living life in dialogue. Living life in dialogue.
The first assignment of Father Sebastiano de Ambra was in an area separated by a river from the town of Siocon. He had to walk through rice fields and towards the forest. The first thing that deeply touched his heart was the simplicity and the hospitality of the people. The smile of the children and the simple dreams of the young people made him keenly aware of the difference between the society he left in Italy and this place where he was now. They gave him, through their kindness and hospitality, more than what he could give them. In behalf of the people of Bukana, Siocon, Barangay Captain Haji Muin Sangkula welcomes Father Seb and expresses their collective gratitude for his friendship. He learned many things from the people that he could not learn in school. This education from the school of the poor cannot leave us peaceful. This disturbance within us urges us to do more and to do better, always searching for new signs from God in big as well as ordinary events that unfold before our very eyes. He was a priest without a church, without a Christian community, without specific work to do. This was his choice, to live a simple life with his Muslim friends, learn their language, listen to their stories, and share his kindness to all.
Kini nga prayer, magsugod kini. O Lord, I cry for peace. Purify my eyes to see peace. Purify my mind to understand peace. Purify my heart to love peace. Nga steps nga sa purification nga pwede anatong mata para medyo anatong pagtanaw nga esakto dili nga permanente nga makitang dautan sa tao. So makaproseso unsa natong pagtanaw sa mga tao.
Anything that helps us to be linked or chained in dialogue with God, ourselves, others, and the whole of creation must be pursued. Silsilah has this spirit, not only because the word literally means chain or link, but also because its origin comes from the experience of a people who understood the deeper meaning of Silsilah with God, with ourselves, with others, and with the whole of creation. For hundreds of years, the Moros of Mindanao have struggled to uphold their way of life and assert their right to self-determination. Usually, people react to violence with violence. But if we have the courage to respond with love, we discover the power of God's love. These things became clearer to Father Seb while living with the poor and spending time with them. For Father Seb, nothing is impossible with God. He has become familiar with the workings of divine providence in his life. The donation of the land is one of those many signs. He named it Harmony Village to realize a dream of a special place of harmony where Muslims and Christians and people of other cultures and religions could experience the presence and love of God in the midst of conflict through dialogue with each other. Now we are here in the Harmony Village, recalling the events of the life of Father Sebastiano and the life of Silsilah. This place is not a fort, but a common place of encounter for people of different cultures and religions, so that together they would journey towards a culture of dialogue and peace.
His way of dealing things. So if this happen in a family, this has to be to happen also in a society. Okay, justice. Justice is very important. You know that there is also an effort that talking about justice and peace. The justice, in other words, there is not peace without justice.
Islam and Christianity teach moral fortitude and enjoin upon each member to exercise the sense of justice. It is within this commandment that jihad, or holy war, has to be understood under the present circumstances. Essentially, jihad means struggle, or the application of a maximum effort to achieve what is good or right for man to do as commanded by God. It is meant to keep order, harmony, and balance within oneself and in relation to others, including all forms of creation. The dialogue of life, where people strive to live in an open and neighborly spirit, sharing their joys and sorrows, their human problems and preoccupations. The dialogue of action, in which people collaborate for the integral development and liberation of the human race. The dialogue of theological exchange, where specialists seek to deepen their understanding of their respective religious heritages and to appreciate each other's spiritual values. The dialogue of religious experience, where persons, rooted in their own religious traditions, share their spiritual riches, for instance, with regard to prayer and contemplation. Make me, O Lord, a sign of your peace, living a life of dialogue with you, to understand your silence and seek your presence. In dialogue with myself, to rediscover the meaning of my life. In dialogue with others, to move together in harmony with all. And in dialogue with creation, to care for the earth. Give me, O Lord, the courage to live in dialogue in the midst of divisions and conflicts, and to build peace with all people of sincere hearts who believe in your love and compassion. Amen. Salam alaikum. Peace be upon you. Alaikum assalam. Peace be on you also. The regularity and feeling which this greeting is exchanged shows that it is not merely a mechanical pronunciation of words, but a religious ritual of great importance. The idea is to be at peace with God, oneself, our fellow human beings, and the world of nature, the Islamic and the Christian way of life.
Kami nga ngayon na nagsita po sa maikling intensive course ng Silsilah ng Muslim Christian Dialogue ay nag-aanyaya sa inyong lahat na makiisa sa aming hakbang na ipagpatuloy natin kahit maliit man ang ating hakbang. Sabi nga, a mile starts with a single step. Sa ating munting hakbang, sana matating natin ang ating pinapangarap na kapayapaan.
Sana magkaroon tayo ng pagkakaisa, magkaroon ng pananampalataya at makiisa sa anumang dapat na magkaroon ng kapayapaan sa ating lugar o kahit saan pa mang parte ng buong mundo.
Ako si Tik Rocamora sa Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay. O ako aniya sa Silsilah Dialogue Center aron sa pagpadayon. Kay kini akong ikatulo ka beses nga pagtuon sa mga kurso nga gihatag sa Silsilah aron nga makapadayon ang pag-dialogue in life and dialogue with our Muslim brothers and sisters.
I'm Nurhana Hussein from Zamboanga City. Well, all I can say about Padayon, go on with your good work, with your good relationship with the Muslim and Christians, including Lumads, and let us pray for the betterness of the whole world. Assalam.
I'm Ricky Acero. I'm a Christian. I'm a seminarian of the Redemptorist Congregation. Alang nako, padayon is that spirit that never gives up. Lalong tumatagal, lalong tumitibay. Tumatagal, hindi nag-give up. Yan ang tumiis padayon.
Ako, si Ilangka Alibon, taga Siocon, I stay in Bukana. Yari ako yung Mother Day, hase sila, sin Sopaya, sin seminar ini, ba't ko kahatian, in uno mang uno, ha magkita Christian, iwan sin tausog, maghambuok, magkasilasa.
I am Sol Rocamora of Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay. I am a Christian.
I am Jennifer Ejed from Holo. I am a Muslim po.
Padayon alang kanako is it is a journey to go on with our journey in the culture of dialogue among Christian and Muslim.
Just like what Ma'am Ricamora a while ago said, just like her, padayon po is a journey. A journey for peace between Christian and Muslim po.
Padayon.
Padayon. Padayon.
Padayon.
Padayon.
Dialogue begins as a journey because it challenges us to move on. The journey becomes a pilgrimage when we feel that God is journeying with us, and together we move to a holy place, our final destination, the eternal encounter. Dialogue is also an adventure because we know when and where it starts, but we do not know where it will end. This is true in terms of time and space. More so in terms of our inner transformation. God leads us to continuous transformation through events, some of our choice, others just flowing into our lives. When we are able to accept dialogue not only as a journey and pilgrimage, but also as an adventure, we begin to open up our lives to life as events and people unfold before our eyes, and we begin to discover the beauty of these encounters with God and people.
Oh Lord, I cry for peace. Purify my eyes to see it, and my mind to understand. Purify my heart to love it, and my memory to work for peace that comes from your love and compassion. Oh Lord, sustain my vision of peace, following your inspiration and the many ways that you reveal your presence and your love for all humanity. With your constant style in dialogue, you care for all. Make me, oh Lord, live in dialogue with you and rediscover the meaning of my life, moving in harmony with all of creation. Give me, oh Lord, the courage to live in dialogue in the midst of divisions and conflicts, and to build peace with all people of sincere hearts who believe in your love and compassion.